Wednesday already. Oh my gosh. What has happened? It's crazy. The time just flies around here when you're having fun. Oh, hello, teddy bear. Hi, everyone. It's Rita and my little barky dogs. Don't worry if you're new. They usually just say hello and then they go on and fall asleep, and maybe sometimes you'll hear a little peep out of them later on in the show, but that's about it. Hey guys, how is everyone? Let me say hi. Hi, Dawn, Leslie. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Connie. Hi, Gloria. Oh, hello from Connecticut. Nice to see you. Good morning, Mary Jane. Hi, Christine. How are you? Hi, Loretta. Happy birthday to Leslie. Yay! Your birthday is Groundhog Day. That's awesome. Oh, wonderful. Hi, Linda. Hi, oh, Sally. Good morning. Roberta. Nice to see you, Eileen and Jerry Ann. How are you all doing? You're getting snowed in. Who's getting snowed in? Linda. Linda, where are you? Ohio? I forget. Um, no, that's maybe it's not. You're not the. There is a Linda from Ohio, but I don't think you're from Ohio. So happy birthday to our friend Leslie. It's her birthday today. It's also Groundhog Day, February 2nd. And I was reading the history of Groundhog Day. It's actually kind of interesting, of course, and I'm going to try to refrain from giving you a history lesson, but it does derive from a Celtic ritual of the halfway point between winter and spring, also often called Candlemas or Imbolc. Imbolc. And Groundhog Day is something that was started here in the United States, although it has origins to the pagan traditions, and it was brought over by the Pennsylvania Dutch. And that's why we have Puxatawny Phil, who's in Pennsylvania. Excuse me. But there are other prognosticators throughout the United States. And hey, you, come here, come here. I got a little groundhog over here too. So don't bite my fingers. Come on now. All right. So anyway, it's Groundhog Day, and I believe that the groundhog has seen his shadow, which he tends to do, and that means 6 more weeks of winter. But you know what? It kind of doesn't matter because we're crafting indoors and being outside. Then I just feel like I have to be outside doing gardening or something like that. But anyway, so today's Wednesday. We're having a little bit of a change up in terms of what we're going to do today. Originally, when I scheduled this, excuse me, when I originally schedule this, I was going to do joy cards using smart paper, and I actually ran into a small problem, and I had to have the folks over at Cricut have a look at it. It was a problem with my design space, but so I decided to pivot because we're really good at pivoting, aren't we? And I decided I still wanted to make all these lovely Valentines, but instead I wanted to do it on this Explore 3 that we have. And I wanted to continue to use the smart paper. And I wanted to be challenged to make all these cards using the smart paper and no liquid glue. I do confess that I needed to use the adhesive from the smart paper and also a little bit of double-sided tape. But you can make all of these and more in minutes using the Explore 3. Now, if you do not have the Explore 3, you can also make it on the Joy, but personally, I couldn't do it because I had a problem. So You can make it on the Maker 3. If you don't have those 3 machines that take the smart paper, you can make these on your other machines. Of course you can. And I'm going to try to give you that file, and which will be in the description of the video. Okay, so these are older images that I have changed and turned them into these sweet little valentines. These are A2 size valentines, and I just cut some paper up. If you didn't want to use or cut up paper, you can also use the insert cards that we have played with in the past. So here is a pack of insert cards, and you get 10, 12, sometimes 8 cards in here with the envelopes, and there's also inserts in there. You could use this, or I'm going to show you how to cut your paper so that you can use your regular 8.5 by 11 inch paper with your cutting machine with this. And no, it's not a machine really, it's like a personal trimmer. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So that is that. Before I get started though, um, let me just remind you that, let's see, what was I going to remind you of? Okay, so tomorrow I still haven't posted a project because I actually went to Michael's yesterday. I broke my diet, my craft supply diet I was on. I did pretty good considering the month of January. I didn't buy a whole lot of crafts, but I just couldn't do it all year round. My resolutions got out the window, and I bought a ton of 75% off Christmas things that I'm going to try to incorporate into the year, including some two two-piece plastic ornaments that we're going to turn into candy holders. So I was thinking that we would do that tomorrow, but I know we need to do our banner. And then I also got some amazing ink pads from Tim Holtz. I've been putting off getting them, but honest to God, they're so amazing. They're called Distress Oxide. And the reason why I was putting it off, because they are a bit expensive, but they had them on sale at Joann's, actually half off, and then 20% off of that. So figured I'd give them a go. And the reason why I got sort of delayed on that is that it's confusing. If you've ever gone to Ranger Ink is where Tim Holtz has his products. Ranger Ink has a ton of these distressed products. They have crayons, they have distressed ink, they have distressed oxide, and they have paint, and they have paste, and they have this and that. So I'm going to break it down a little bit. We're going to just talk about the oxide versus the ink and what those are and how can you use them with your Cricut. And there are lots of ways that you can use your Cricut and the inks together. So I'm gonna hopefully try to fit that one in the coming days. So on Friday we're heading over to Designs by Miss Mandy. It's Mandee, I believe. Miss Mandy, designs by missmandy.com. We're going to be doing a beautiful box card that she designed because it's Freebie Friday. And actually, all of Miss Mandy's images are free, from what I understand. She just simply asks that you donate to her if you feel you've gotten something from it. So every designer's different. For me, I'm not so much a designer as I am a demonstrator. But if you want to support me and you getting something out of these classes, whether you come every day or just you catch up on the weekends, you can consider adding me to your Patreon list. That's Patreon. All right, their dog walker is here and they're very excited. Okay. He's here, and he gets teased a little. He teases them a little bit by sitting out front. in his brand new truck. So anyway, so there's that. So you can do Patreon. You can also buy from Cricut. I'm an affiliate with Cricut, and we have a new code. So if you're interested in making a purchase at Cricut, maybe for a machine or just materials, whatever, you can save some money. I have a coupon code and a link that I will start putting in back into my my description so that you can see them. Anyway, so let's talk, because I don't like to talk about money. Let's talk about Smart Paper, this lovely machine, and Design Space, and see what we came up with for a design. So let's go back. I'm going to just take you back to this project. I want to make sure that I save this because I want to be able to send it to you. So you see, when I originally did this, I called them reworked Valentines for joy, but in actuality, these can be done on any machine. And to use the Smart Paper is really smart because there is a here's one that's cut out on the Smart Paper, and you just simply peel it because it's like a sticker. So you cut out, whoops, you cut out the negative pieces, you see, just like that. It's reminiscent a little bit of infusible ink, but it's actually a sticker right here. Sometimes you can peel it off and all the pieces come off, but it's a sticker that's cut out, and you don't need a mat. That's what's so awesome about it. So here's the paper that I'm talking about. This is called Smart Paper Sticker Cardstock. Now, this is also available for the Joy, and I'll just show you. The Joy is cut. Obviously, it's 5.5 inches, but this is a 13-inch wide. It's 13 inches so that you can put it in without a mat. Normally, when you're doing paper, right, you need any kind of paper, you need a mat, but with these you don't. So if you didn't happen to get a mat, but you did get a pack of Smart Paper, this is a project for you. Okay, so the Smart Paper comes in these packs. It comes in white, black. It also comes in these colors. This is the rainbow, I think, the rainbow mix. Let me just check, or it might be called Bright Bow Mix. I don't know, but it's obviously the rainbow colors, and then it also comes in this, which is a pastel. Yeah, bright bow and pastel. You get 10 sheets in here. Not a whole lot, but the price isn't terrible. So if you use it right, you can get quite a few cards out of it. I was able to fit 4 cards on a sheet of Smart Paper. That is the A2 size card, which is 4.25 by 5.5. So if you use that measurement, that would mean this one pack would get you, if you used every sheet there and at 4 each, you get 40 cards out of one pack. So it makes it kind of worth it when you're doing this. If you don't want to use Smart Paper, you don't have to. It's just something that you can try, and it works really, really well. These machines also take mats, and you don't need to worry about oh, I don't have the right materials, because they take everything that the other machines do. Okay, and so this is the Explore 3. We're going to show you how to do, I've shown you how to do some things like iron on and other things, but this today is about Smart Paper. I got Smart Paper stuck to me all over the place. Anyway, let's start off. Let's start off with a design. So I want to show you what we're going to do. I'm working on the iPad. You don't need your iPad. You can use a phone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone. You can use a desktop or a laptop. But today I wanted to show you the iPad. Now, before I started cutting, I made sure that I went to this triple, uh, it looks like a hamburger, and I went there and I made sure I selected the correct machine. All these machines, I was working on the Joy with my iPad last time, so I changed it now to Explore 3. Okay? And that is simply because you need to be able to communicate from your iPad to your machine. You see this little blue dot? That means that my machine is connected via Bluetooth to the Design Space app. So, in addition to choosing the right machine, you have to also go to your settings. So here's my settings, and I'm going to go to Bluetooth and do make sure that your Explore 3 is connected. Now, I'll also point out that my Joy, which is sitting to the left, is also connected. And I did try to get them both working at once, but I didn't have enough time this morning. So I'm going to try to figure that out so I can show you how you can actually have two machines going at once. But today we're just doing the Explore 3. So it is connected, okay? And then I'm going to open up my Design Space and I'm going to do new project. So it's going to replace my project that I've done. And let's go ahead and look for these Valentines, because there's a lot of them in Design Space and I want to show you how to find them. So we're going to go here to images right here, okay? And you see it says all images, and there's our little groundhog friend. And 275,000 images. Yikes, that's a lot of images. Now, some of them are available for free if you're an Access customer, and you know that because the A. Now, I had a newbie ask me over the weekend, what's the difference between Access and Design Space? I think when new people come on, they don't understand that there are two different, they're two distinctly different programs. So Design Space is simply the software, and the software is free to use. So you do not need to be an Access customer in order to use the software. However, Access, which is a subscription based program, which you can sign up for monthly or yearly. And what I suggest to people, if they're not familiar with this, try it for a month and see if you like it. Because for under $10, you get all of these images to use. Oh my, little Miss Lola. She's very chatty today. Come on, Lola. So for under $10 for the month, you will get a ton of images. Now, not every single image. The licensed ones tend to not be part of Access, but you can get anything that has this little A on it. You also get fonts and projects and discounts on product materials as part of Access. But Access is completely voluntary. Okay, so of this 275,000 images, we're going to be looking for Valentines. So I happen to know, because I'm one of those people that had cartridges in the old days, that there are some image sets that are just Valentine's cards. So what I'm going to do is press on this button. It's not really a button, it's kind of a hyperlink. Hey. Sorry, she's a little chatty today for some reason. All right, relax. I'm going to press on this. It's like there's three lines with circles in them. And then we're going to go to categories and image sets. Okay. Then we use the back button here. And now you'll see what's showing up at just image sets. So now this whittles down the 275,000 images down to sets, groupings of images based on a common theme. So, for instance, Black History Month, nature scenes, zodiac signs, whatever you are interested in, I'm sure you're going to find it here under the image sets. Okay, so we're going to actually use the image set search. You need to stop it, please. You're interrupting me, and that's not good. Please stop. Please stop. Oh, I see the German Shepherd across the street on the front porch. And that is what's causing. Oh, he's so cute though. He's so cute. All right, sorry. So we're gonna actually type in the word cards, plural. And you will see that we have got all of these image sets, 123 of them that are cards. We're gonna scroll down and we're going to choose this Valentine's Day cards. There are also some other cards available for Valentine's Day under the there's this spring holiday cards. I love that one. That one's so cute. That's like the precursor to insert cards. But there's also where is it? Um it's under holiday cards, which I'm having a hard time finding. But there are tons of cards, as you can see, and I'm looking for the simple holiday cards, which are here. But that's okay. We're just going to go to the Valentine's Day ones right here, and we're going to choose a few of these. We can do as many of these as we want, but let me just choose a few. Here's one. I want ones that are very square. So let's choose 4 different ones, okay? Now, they come in and they have envelopes. Personally, if you're going to do these, I would, and you're going to use smart paper, I would just probably buy envelopes. That's how I am with envelopes. I saw them actually bought envelopes on sale yesterday at Michael's. So what we're going to do here with this image is we are going to go and ungroup it. You see that? Ungroup. So by ungrouping, we can remove this. Also, ungrouping takes away this back piece, which for this we don't need. Okay. So here's our image. And we do not want the score line here. What we're going to do is actually lop off the back of this card and create a front piece that's made from the smart paper. So it's adhesive, okay? So we do not need this back portion. So what we're going to do first is we're going to detach this image. Let's detach it. Okay, there. By detaching it, you will see that our score line kind of comes off here, and we just have to select it. Sometimes it has a hard time. I have a hard time. There it is. And just eliminate it. So now we have this image, but it's too wide, right? Because it's the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our trusty shapes and choose the square. And we are going to spread that square so that it covers the back, the part that we want to lop off. Now, this is something that I usually just eyeball. So if it's got a wide margin over here, I want to replicate that margin on this side. Okay. So then I'm going to select both of them. See how I did that with my finger? I just selected them both. And then I'm going to go to actions. Okay. And I'm going to slice. Now, slicing, I tell people it's like making cookies with cookie doughs and a cookie cutter. It basically takes the dough and cuts out what you need. So here you go, all these pieces that we don't need, and there's the piece that we want. Okay? And we can continue to do that with all of these. And yet I've not talked about size yet, but I will in a second. Let's do that again for those, that didn't get it the first time. Okay, so first we've got this Be Mine. Isn't it cute? Let's first ungroup it. Okay. And then we're going to take the envelope, which, come on, envelope. All right, there's the envelope, and delete it and delete this. Okay. We're going to also take the back out of that. Now you can't see it that well, but there is a dotted line here. and that is for scoring. But we want to get rid of that. So we're going to hit detach. Okay. And then once we do that, we can just grab that and get rid of it. If I can get this to work. There it is. Okay. All right. Now this is differently shaped. Obviously it's going to open from the from the top is where that score was going to be. So we're still going to use a shape. So here's our square shape, and we're just going to bring it above. Why am I having trouble today? All right. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to bring it above this. Now, if it helps, I like to use the grid lines to sort of set up to make sure that the size is correct. But we're going to talk about size in a second. And we're going to, there we go. We're going to stretch this out and decide, I think that maybe a little tiny bit more. Yeah. Okay. Select them both and go to actions, slice. Okay. And then just peel off these layers that you don't need. And now you have these images. Same thing with these. We'll just keep this simple by having 2 images. Now we've got 2 card fronts. I want to make sure that they're going to work with my card sizes. I'm going to use the A2 size, and I can use my insert cards if I make these A2 size. So I want to make sure that they're the correct size. So I'm going to select each one and hit edit and make sure that my size is 4¼ by 5½. Okay. Or 5½ by 4¼ for this one. But this one here, it's down here under edit, and you see it's 4¼ but it's just over the 5½. And I'm that much of a stickler that I want to make it perfect. So I click on that height and I just type in 5.5. And now it's the perfect size. Now let's do the same thing. And look, I had a really good, hey, stop. I had a really good eye on this one because there is the width 5½ by 4¼ So we now have uh, 2 images that we're going to cut. And as I mentioned before, I think you have to maximize the paper that you're going to use. So I was able to fit 4 of these on one sheet. Going past 4, I ran into problems that I won't get into, but I think that there's something I need to learn there, because if I do more than 4, it ends up putting it on the same page and then you have to separate it out. So instead of getting too technical, let's go ahead and cut 4 of each of these. And because they're different colors, um, they are going to cut in 2 different mats because the mats separate by color. If you wanted to cut them both using the same paper, say white or black, you could do that if you sync your colors. So you would go over here to sync and see how this is black, this is peach or pink. You would change it just simply by moving one to the other, and then they both become pink. But I don't want to do that today, so I'm going to change this back under basic operation. I'll just change it to that peach. Okay, everybody with me? Um, okay, you can't get there, parallel specs. Okay, so now we're going to hit make it. And it does ask us, because we're using the iPad and also the Maker 3, I'm sorry, the Explorer 3. It's asking us which type of material are we going to load. Well, we're going to work on smart paper. Okay. So that is done without the mat. But you can see here, you can also choose on the mat or multiple ways. It's up to you how you want to do it. So this isn't just limited to smart materials. So let's choose without the mat. And you'll see here that it just has one. But as I mentioned, there are four that will fit here. So I'm going to go up here to this little, what looks like a mat, even though this is matless. It looks like a mat. I'm going to click on that, and I am going to change my project copies to 4. Okay. And now you can see that I have on both the black and on the pink, I have 4 that are fitting on that page. Okay. And there is the black one. So there's the pink one. There's the black one. Then I'm going to hit next. And I'm going to choose this material, Smart Paper Sticker Cardstock. If you don't have that favorited, you can go to all materials and choose the compatible version, which is Smart Paper Sticker Cardstock. Okay. Now, those are just compatible if you're doing it off the mat. I think sometimes people get a little confused about that if it says compatible. If you had changed this to on the mat, then you would have the other materials open to you. Okay. So here we go. Smart paper sticker cardstock. The pressure is a default pressure. I do want to remember the material settings because I want to be able to not have to pick the material setting for both mats. So I'm going to turn this little toggle switch on. Now you'll see, I hope you can see, yeah, there is a button that is blinking. So I'm going to get out for the first one. I'm going to get out my black cards sticker paper. It's kind of long name, doesn't it? Black sticker paper cardstock. And by the way, I would leave it in this package because it does have a tendency to get a little bit like bowed. But what I found out was when you look on the back, it does actually have arrows. So even if it's bowed, the arrows tend to go this way. So it's not going to cause a problem with the bowing. Okay. So we're going to make sure we very carefully place it between or sort of through these little guide marks. And then we're going to hit the blinking button. Now, this is slightly different than the Joy because the Joy, there are no buttons. Okay. So this, we're engaging with the buttons on the machine. The Joy, we have to do it all on the computer. Okay. So now it's ready. It has checked to make sure I have the correct amount of paper in there. And you'll see that my arrow is blinking. So all I need to do is hit that arrow and it is going to cut out my 4 black Be Mine Valentines. And as far as the quickness, it seems like after a while it sort of just kind of catches up and gets better at it. So what we'll do is we're going to push this back just a tiny bit because I want to show you what we end up with. So we end up with, depending on the color you choose, you end up with these sized Valentine. So here's one that I did, Love Struck. And to peel them away, all you have to do is this is where it reminds me of infusible ink. You kind of like just bend it and you're going to peel away these pieces. So it's different than weeding vinyl, but it's a lot like weeding infusible ink. So, and by the way, be careful where you put these things because I got them all stuck on because they're adhesive, right? So I'm just going to like sort of do this. Now, if you miss something, that's okay. I'm going to show you what to do if you miss something accidentally. But try to get as much of this stuff out of the negative cut part out as you can. There we go. And I have a few little pieces here. Okay, so there's a little piece. I'll leave these little pieces up here so you can see what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to move my screen down a little bit so you can see how I do this. So now again, remember this is a sticker. I'm going to turn it on. It's side and I'm going to actually peel away the backing of the sticker. So this is sticky. Don't place it on anything. But once you have it peeled away, or if you don't want to do it this way, you can also take your weeding tool and sort of pick these pieces out. It's up to you. Whatever you do, whatever works for you. Okay. So once you have it all cut out, you see, we're going to then stick it onto a backing, which is exactly what I did here. And I want to show you what I'm going to do. So here it is. I just cut out this little piece of cardstock and I stuck it to this. Okay. So I'm going to show you, let's move this tiny bit. I'm going to show you how to cut your cardstock. It's very similar to the way that we cut the cardstock for making insert cards for Joy. But if you don't want to cut them, you can use these insert cards as long as they're the correct size. So these size insert cards are 4¼ by 5½. So what you'll get in there are is you'll get your envelopes. There's your inserts, which are slightly smaller than what I'm going to show you to use. And then you have your insert cards. But if you don't want to buy the insert cards, or you want to use your own paper, say you have a real special color that they don't have at the store or online, you can use 8½ by 11" cardstock. This is a cardstock from this particular one is from Joann's. Joann sells this 8½ by 11" cardstock. It's by the producer Park Lane. Park Lane. Also, Michael's has it, and it is 8½ by 11". It's by Recollections. They usually sell them in packs of 50 sheets. Okay, and sometimes they're all the same color. Sometimes they're a rainbow assortment. It depends. Now, they normally sell for about $6. They've gone up a little bit over the years, but for $6, you get 50 sheets of paper. And I think this is one of the best buys out there in and I call it paper, but it's really cardstock. Okay, it's one of the best buys out there. So get yourself to either Michael's or their online store or even Joann's and stock up on all the colors that you like to craft with. I use this constantly. So if we're going to make the card backings, the back of the card, we need to create a size. So let's take an 8½ by 11" piece of paper and we're going to put it in. Whoop, is it almost done? It might almost be done. So if it's almost done, then I will remove it from the machine. Yeah, it is. Let's give that a second, I think. Oh, no, it's just doing the first two. Okay. So I'm taking this paper trimmer. Now, this one happens to be a Cricut paper trimmer. You do not need to use a Cricut paper trimmer. They have other companies that make these. I just happen to like Cricut, and this is the one that I buy. So I'm putting this in the long way, and you see here I have a mark here at the 5½ point. So I'm actually going to line up this 8½ by 11 the long way, and I am going to take, and this is the cutter part, and I'm just going to cut up and down, and I will have 2 exact pieces of cardstock. Now, this piece of cardstock can be folded just like this, and that makes an A2 size card. So here is our A2 size card, and here you just made your own. Okay, which I think is pretty awesome. If you want to make the back for the sticker cardstock, we're actually going to take our halved piece of paper and we're going to cut it in half. So now this piece of paper, you see, I just want to show you, it's 8½ inches. So half of 8½ inches is 4¼ So we're, instead of 5½, we're going to go to the 4¼ and cut that. Now I have 2 pieces that are exact. So from one sheet of paper, I made 2 backs and 1 actual card base. And you can do this with any colors. You can do it with any type of paper. That's all you need to do. Now, this one here isn't exactly the best color cutout. So let's choose a different one. The same size, as you can see, a little bit bigger. This one's a little bit bigger. So we're going to then peel this off of the backing again. And I'm going to take my fingers. See what I'm doing with my fingers? I'm lining this up right along the edge of this piece of smart paper, and then I'm just going to press it down, and all of a sudden I have a card front. And then all I need to do is get myself a base like this. I'm just going to fold it. I want to make sure I fold it exactly in half. Just like that. Okay. And I'm going to turn it this way. And what I need now is some double stick tape. You don't need to use double stick tape. You can use a tape runner. You can use glue even. But I like this double stick tape for this project because it's very particular. I can put it on there and it's super strong. So I'm going to put the double stick tape on all four sides of there. Just like that. If I have a little piece, I'll put it in the middle. Okay. And then I take my weeding tool and pull up the backing of the double stick tape. Now, not to complicate things, but if you wanted to have uh, a written description, I'm sorry, a sentiment on the inside, you could do that. And you could do that with either Joy. So if you have both machines, you could do that. And that's why I was trying to get both machines. Okay, so I've taken off. It's very sticky. And I'm going to do the same thing where I'm lining up with my fingers on that piece of folded cardstock. And then, whoops, got a little bit of an error here, but that's okay. And then I have a completed card. Now, there may be some problems with your lineup, like mine here. I didn't line it up all together right. So see how it is. It is sort of overlapping. If that bothers you, you can go ahead and take your cutting machine, or if you want to, you can do this with a pair of scissors, but I am not so good at that. So I like to use my little cutting tool and put it right on that crease and get it nice and straight. So there you go. There is a completed card all ready for you to write and give away. Again, if you want to do it this way, make sure you pick up when they're on sale the envelopes. You want to look for the envelopes, and they are very clearly marked A2. A2. So it's going to fit a card that is 4¼ by 5½. So it looks like the machine is done with our four Be Mine cutout. So let me get this unloaded so you can see what happened. So there is this piece down here that is extra, but I tried to squeeze 4 in and it caused the machine to like freak out. So what I would suggest that you do is you take your scissors and just cut this off and save it. Now you can cut this on your machine, but it needs to be on a mat. This will not go in here. So if you're thinking, oh, I'll just take my scraps and put it in there, it won't work, even though it's a great idea. Okay. But you can use it on a mat in the machine. And you see, I have got 4 here, and I want to just show you what I did. So the first thing I did was take off this negative space here. Just makes it easy for me to remove these. There we go. And be careful where you put those, because you'll end up with a lot of stickers on your desk. And then you can just cut these up to make them easier to work with. So let's go ahead and do that here. So I've got these. Now, this is just a fantastic project for a little or for somebody that's kind of a low craft person because it's real easy. You can jazz these up any way you like, but if you just kind of want to just make a fun craft that's quick and easy, this is definitely one you're going to want to try. So you see here, I am pulling away the parts that are cut out. And again, if you didn't want it or you missed something, you didn't want to get them all this way, you can use something like this, which is a weeding tool like this. You see, here's my bee. Look at my bee. Isn't that cute? And then we take off these letters. What I did find when I was doing this project is that I ended up walking around with sticky letters all over my shirt. And that was kind of funny, but I'm sure that happens when you work with vinyl too. But anyway, so I'm taking off my little pieces, putting them on the side of my desk, getting them off my fingers. And here's the one little piece that's left, the eye of the dot over the eye. So here's our Be Mine. And I was thinking this would look really cool with this gold. So I'm going to actually, you know what I think I'll do is I'm going to take this off and I'm going to trim it afterwards because you can do that too. So here is my Be Mine and a piece of nice gold cardstock, which I did get from Michael's. And press down. Make sure that I'm pressing all the way down. You see, I wasn't completely uh, over there. So what I want to do is I want to either use my cutter or my scissors as best as I can and sort of using the card as a guide. Try not to cut the card top, but I like to use the trimmer, but this is just another way to use it. Okay. And then we just need a card base, which I have pre-cut here. It's just the 8.5 by 11, which I'm going to fold like that. Isn't this fun? Oh my gosh. I had so much fun last night doing this that at first I was like, oh, I can't do it on the Joy. Yuck. What am I going to do? And then I was like, oh, this is so much fun. And I was actually using my brand new Cricut light because, of course, around here it gets dark at 4:30. Maybe it's 4:45 now, but I couldn't see what I was doing. So I turned on my light. It was perfect. It worked great. So when we have another date night, we will, uh, we will use that light for sure. Okay. So it doesn't matter that this is sticky right here because it's going to go on that card base. It is perfectly sized for that card base. So here we go. Take off the top portion of the double stick tape. Sometimes it doesn't come off right. So I do tend to push it down just to get it going. Just like this. Just like that. Isn't it cute? Oh my God, so adorable. And we're going to put it onto this card very nicely. Of course, I'm off base again, but I can, um, when I'm rushing, I'm not as precise. You guys will do it better because you won't be rushing around. So let me show you how with the cutter how I'm going to do this. So I line up that extra part and just remove it just like that. Isn't that great? So that, you guys, my friends, is it for these cards. Aren't they great? I just love them. I can't wait to find somebody to give them to. But these are just so like almost low tech, as low tech as you're going to get with Cricut. And they're just a lot of fun. Now, I will point out here, this I decided I was going to use glitter cardstock. However, glitter does not stick too well. It's not. It should be the top layer. So this one is a little bit loose. So what I might do is go back and just put another piece. I think I'll do that. I'll put another piece of um, double stick tape in between there, and that will sort of hold that in place, you see. But glitter, you always need to be careful of. It really should be the top, because it just does not glue that well. Let's do that. But if you want glitter, you just have to make a few extra. Well, some people don't like glitter, but you have to make a few extra steps there. And there we go. There's one. It usually shows up on the edges the most, or you could glue, but now it's connected. So look at all these fabulous I love you, be mine. This one here, this lattice heart, love struck. Look at the kissy kissy one. There's a lattice one in white. There's the be mine. Let me show you some others. There's this really cute one. There's this one. Where's my, oh yeah, here it is. This one. And I cut out some more. I got kind of a little crazy and I started making a ton of these because it was a really fun project to do. There we go. So this one here is love, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Peel these pieces off. Oh, okay. So Connie is saying that it's called a paper trimmer. I call it a paper machine. I don't know. But it's called a paper trimmer. You can get them at any craft store. I think that like Fiskars makes one, and I think even the Silhouette people make one, and we are memory keepers. It whatever one you like. I happen to use the Cricut one because they sent it to me, and I liked it so much, and I just kept using it. You can replace the blades, by the way, on the back. So once it becomes dull, because blades don't stay sharp forever, so you can replace it super easy. And I also just point out that on the back of the Cricut one, there is a little space right here and right here that you can store your extra blades in. So let me show you just real quick. So if you need to replace the blade, you can check it here to see if it's gotten dull. This one actually feels a little bit dull. So you're going to sort of separate this, but don't break it. And here, this piece is two pieces. This is the piece that you're going to replace. You flip this over and you can take and put, where am I going with this? Put it in here and it clicks into place. So you can have your extras here, or if you have the one that has a score, you can keep your score in there and switch it out. Okay. And then when you're ready to replace it, you just simply put it back together like this, or you can put it back together on the actual ruler part, just like this. There we go. And you're good as new. All right. So that's a lot of information for today. I hope that you found these interesting. I am going to make sure that I post the link to these reworked Valentines. But if for some reason, because every time I say that, I end up with a problem. So if for some reason you are unable to get the link, do know that you can find these images and lots more of them when you just use the search. Let's go ahead. I'm going to cancel. When you just use the search by going to images and using this here to pick image sets like this, and just using words, simple words, cards, love, Valentines, and you'll get image sets just like this. Here's the one I was looking for earlier, simple holiday cards. And there are quite a few Valentine's ones in here. So, and also a lot. I love, this is probably my favorite cartridge. I'm sorry, image set. And here we go. So there's St. Patrick's Day, there's Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, Easter, holiday, Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving, Halloween, and then just kind of because Independence Day. But here's a couple of the look at there's Easter. Look at this love. So you can just click on them, bring them into your design space. Okay. And do make sure you save. Remember to save. But what you're going to do is you're going to go to actions, ungroup. Once you do that, eliminate the envelope here, eliminate this backing, then detach, take away the, there we go, take away the scoring. And then again, shapes, square, move the square over to the piece and sort of eyeball it, group them or select them both together, go to action slice, and that's it. Where do you go to make, what is our dean is asking a question? Maybe a stupid question, but where do you go? I have not set up for the new giveaway. I will do that. Wah! You know what? Paralita's saying she's afraid to use slice. But the thing is, it's not like cutting real material. Um, and so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, let's see. I love you, ladies. Aren't they the greatest? Listen, I said the silhouette word. Yeah. Listen, if you liked this project and you are not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, then you're missing out on some pretty awesome chat that goes on in the live with my friends. They are the best group of people and they keep coming back and they help out new people. If you're new, say hello because they are so friendly, friendliest group on the internet, honestly. So that is all for today. And let's see. And we will see you again tomorrow with, I don't know what the project's going to be. I got to tell you, I'm being drawn towards that, using the ink, using the distress oxide ink to show you what you can do with it and how you can pair it with your with your machine. But I don't know if any is ever anybody interested um in that, because I sure am, and I just love playing with all the, I got like 30 different colors. I don't know how many colors there are, but I got them all, I think, except for maybe the unusual one, like black. I don't think I got black. All right. You're using all your sticker paper. Awesome, Eileen. All right. Yes. And save. And thank you, Loretta. All right, everybody. It's so wonderful that you guys chat and talk to each other. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you spreading the word about us. And we can get more and more people, and everybody will be happy because they'll know how to use their machine, and we'll have a whole lot of fun and be creative. So thanks for coming today, and we will see you again tomorrow. I don't know what the project is, but we'll see you again tomorrow, and have a wonderful day.